the Academy Award for Best Picture. A category, to say the least, that has seen some controversy over the decades.
We lost, by the way, but, you know.
Guys, I'm sorry. No, there's a mistake. Moonlight, you guys won Best Picture.
Moonlight won. Come on, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. I'm afraid they read the wrong thing.
Can anyone honestly say The Greatest Show on Earth was truly a better film than High Noon? You cannot seriously consider Shakespeare in Love superior to Saving Private Ryan.
Stop, listen to me! Listen to me! Stop! No.
And don't even start trying to claim that Titanic is a better film than LA Confidential.
Rollo. Tomasi.
But at least there was an audience for those films. More than once, Academy members picked films like the forgettable Coda, Nomadland, Green Book, and Crash. Films that one cannot help but feel were not selected because of their popularity, but because they made Academy members feel a smug moral superiority over the audience. And that brings us to The Brutalist, a leading contender for this year's award season. Is it a film audiences will enjoy? Or another film that Academy members think we should be watching? So, what did I think? 1947, an acclaimed Hungarian architect and Holocaust survivor, Laszlo Toth, played by Adrien Brody, arrives in the United States. Forcibly separated from his wife, played by Felicity Jones, and his niece, who are stranded in Europe, Laszlo must find a way to bring them over and start his life again. Now, before I go any further, I'm just going to come out and say it right now. I do not like this film. Now, don't get me wrong. There's quite a lot to like about it. No, like is the wrong word. Admire is more suitable. It's hard to believe this film was made for under $10 million. In every aspect, from production design to the cinematography, this is a lesson in production and filmmaking. Every single Marvel executive who assumes endless reshoots are the solution to every problem should be made to watch. The Brutalist has one of the most original and unique opening sequences I have seen in the past decade through the simple use of spacing and font on screen, accompanied by an original score by Daniel Blumberg, which is a mixture of jazz, piano, and an orchestral score that at times feels as if it's going to shake the cinema apart. I don't think I've seen a score that fits its subject in such a way since Bill Conti's score for The Right Stuff. While director Brady Corbet shows his expertise in directing actors, Corbet, who started out as an actor in films like Thunderbirds, coaxes from his cast career best performances, in particular from Adrien Brody, giving us a man haunted by his past, distracted by vices and earthly delights of the present, as he struggles to leave his mark in the future, in spite of the machinations of his employer, played by a scenery-chewing Guy Pearce. If Brody does not get a nomination from the Academy for this performance, then there is no justice. So, what's the problem, I can hear you ask? Well, first off, it's nearly 4 hours long. That's longer than the theatrical cut of The Two Towers and the same length as the director's cut of Lawrence of Arabia.
I'm the man who broke the bank at Monte Carlo.
Without half the substance. Too many times you find yourself looking at your watch wondering, how much longer is there to go? Corbett has been quoted as asking why it's okay for superhero films to be 3 hours long. Well, here's the answer, Brody. If they don't have the depth of script, they shouldn't. And neither should this. The Brutalist has scenes reminiscent in the styles of every genre, from Heaven's Gate to Rollerball in composition. Even Solaris, with its seemingly never-ending shots of roads, gets a call in. But the screenplay, by Corbett and his partner, filmmaker Mona Vestvold, has nothing actually to say. Instead, it smacks of the pretentious self-importance the Academy loves. Is this a film about surviving the Holocaust? The struggles of being an immigrant to a country that gives the impression it doesn't want you? Or an artist struggling to keep his vision in the face of corruption? They never focus on the one storyline, instead flit from aspect to aspect while using stock footage from the 50s and 60s to emphasize their point. Whatever point they're actually trying to make, filling the ridiculous running time with long, drawn-out scenes that at times end jarringly with almost nonsensical dialogue. But what for me kills this film is an event about 2/3 of the way through. An event that is not only shocking and utterly distasteful, but completely nonsensical. So nonsensical that I was left angry at Corbett and his writing partner for using such lazy shorthand, throwing any nuance they may have achieved in a very obvious Hail Mary pass of a moment in order to get to some sort of ending.
Order.
Grady, you know how in class how you're always telling us that writers make choices?
Yeah.
And even though your book is really beautiful, I mean, amazingly beautiful, it's at times, it's very detailed. With the genealogies of everyone's horses and the dental records and so on. And I could be wrong, but it sort of reads in places like you didn't really make any choices.
Shot on 70mm for less than $10 million. I can see The Brutalist sweeping all the technical awards. And as I said, this is an acting masterclass from Brody. Story-wise, this film with an obviously tacked-on ending by the writers that stinks of, it'll do, is not only full of its own self-importance, but quite possibly some of the worst old-age makeup since Back to the Future 2. Made for critics and members of the Academy to say to themselves, see how clever we are? The Brutalist forgets the audience who may want to watch it in theaters. But looking at box office figures from the States, audiences have already realized, this wasn't made for us. Long, tedious, and boring. The Brutalist makes the same mistakes so many films released for the award season do. The Brutalist is in cinemas here in Ireland and Great Britain from Friday, January the 23rd. Now, this is not a badly made film, but it is utterly forgettable. If it was me, I wouldn't waste your money on this, but wait for it on home release. I say, a deeply average meh.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
And if you like this episode of So What Did I Think and want to see more, please remember to click like and subscribe. Always subscribe. Thanks for watching.